at our Instagram and our Twitter at Radyo Katipunan and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Radyo Katipunan FM for more exclusive content.
Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagpapalitang tumpak at damok. At tumsum sa labas ng kwenta, ibibida ang ibibida. The voice of the Blue Eagle, the voice of the Blue Eagle.
Tawag ni Ignacio, Katipunero, sugat por todos at tayo, tulo at tulo. Lipag na Blue
Blue and white, moonbeam fly. Radyo, 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 the voice of the Blue Eagle, the voice of the Blue Eagle.
Katipunan.
Coming up next, SPARC, Spouses, Parents, Children, on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Katipunan.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay Ateneo, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng buwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Kawan ni Ignacio, Katipunero, sugod, todo sa kayon, tulong at tulong, lipat na Blue Eagle, kaming nagigil, blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan.
What keeps a family shining? It's that spark, the bond between spouses, the wisdom of parents, and the dreams of children. And guess what? We're turning that spark into a show. Introducing SPARC, Spouses, Parents, and Children. Only here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. A program filled with real talk, life hacks, inspiring stories, and yes, even the fun and laughter that keep families strong. So tune in, light up your day, and let's celebrate what makes every family shine. SPARC, Spouses, Parents, and Children. Only on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Your campus, your community, your spark of inspiration.
Also to all our listeners and viewers over at Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM, YouTube and Facebook channels of RK. As always, if you want to see us live in person, we are broadcasting live at the GESCOM building of the Ateneo de Manila University. So hello once again. I am always your Monday companion, your host, Coach Aiza Caparas-Tabayoyong. Hopefully keeping your Monday mornings interesting and learning filled and insightful. And here we go for this topic this morning is very interesting and very unique, no? And I'm excited. Hopefully, a lot of parents will be listening in, especially parents of teenagers, adolescents who may be needing some guidance on this topic because our episode is entitled "Differentiating Sex and Intimacy: The Data and the Dialogue We Need to Have." And this is a topic that's not always discussed or had, or a conversation that's not easily had with our children. So this is an opportunity for everyone. So of course, para samahan tayo to make himay this topic for you. We have a senior, sorry, my voice is bedroom voice po tayo this morning, no? He is a senior research fellow of the Health Governance and Security Program of the Ateneo Policy Center under the School of Government. He's also previously served as with the Philippine Department of Health, and he's used to be the Undersecretary and the Philippine Food and Drug Administration Director General. He possesses extensive knowledge and experience on issues of health and governance and security, and very passionate on empowering the youth. Please welcome, first time on SPARC, Dr. Kenneth Hartigan-Go. Hello, Doc.
Hello, Aida. Thank you very much for having me here, and thank you for listening in to this program. Good morning.
Yes, thank you, Doc. And joining us also for this very worthwhile conversation are no strangers to the show. We have our power couple resource person. One is, of course, a family medicine and marriage counselor and a toxicologist, and also co-author with the books along with his darling, right? Including I've Been Dating Now What, Thinking of Marriage, Teen Crush, all about relationships to guide also our youth. Please welcome back Dr. Allan Dionisio.
Okay, good morning to everyone, and I am excited to talk about this topic.
And belated happy birthday, Doc!
Thank you.
Ano na, 25th? 26th birthday? Never mind. Okay, and with him, of course, as I've said, the ever-darling co-founder of the Love Institute and co-author of all those books I mentioned, lead chaplain, both of them are lead chaplains of the Discovery Weekend. Of course, the pretty Coach Maribel Dionisio.
Good morning, dear parents. Listen, there's so much to learn here today.
Yes. And again, hello to all those who are tuning in already at the Facebook and the YouTube channels also, and everyone who's driving and listening over at the radio. Drive safe. So let's get started. Kung may questions po kayo or kahit shout out, feel free to say so on our comment section. Okay. So let's get started. Doc, Ken, what do you want to be called?
Just only Ken.
Can do anything, can dance, can sing.
I try my best.
Okay, very good. But we can't do a sample here. We don't have space. Next time. So, in your clinical practice, how often, or first let's start with the why. Why is this an important topic for you or for the School of Government, for us to bring up and talk about at this time in our history?
Aida, thank you for asking that question. The School of Government is very much vested in health governance and health security. Secondly, in the principle of inclusive democracy, we would like to elevate literacy, and in particular in this area, health literacy, in order to make people healthy, know their rights, and also help them make the right decisions.
Okay. How about, I'll ask also Doc Allan, Maribel, in your field and practice of family counseling, and we also have mga adolescent clients, why do you think this topic is important to to talk about now?
Well, it's very important, especially for adolescents and for parents with adolescents. It's because adolescence is also the time of sexual awakening, no? And it comes at a time when when the adolescents are not yet ready to face the world. A long time ago, maybe, no? So some people, some scholars would say that Mary was 14 years old, no? When she married Joseph, who was 17. But, you know, Joseph could already had a job. Mary knew how to take care of kids and keep house. Now, you can't do that anymore, you know? You have high school, you have college, no? And so, all of a sudden, you now have adolescents who are capable of already of having babies, but they have to postpone for a long time before they can actually exercise their, you know, their sexual facilities.
Right. And why
And it's a hard thing.
Yes. So it's a hard also area or season of their lives to navigate. And why do they need to postpone? What is there to
Postpone which one?
learning or getting into those kinds of activities?
Well, there's a right time for everything, so that if they want at the end of the day to have that happy relationship or be happy in a family life, there are steps to take. And this is one area that's usually not talked about in the family. And there are many teenagers, young adults who get into problems in this area. Precisely, many of they say when we meet them, I did not know or I was not informed or the
Yes.
inadequate information. So it's good we're talking about this, yes.
No, yeah. Especially because there are plans and dreams, no? Especially people now and from the millennials even to the Gen Z now, they will have things to do to make
Yeah.
an impact in the world. And if it's disrupted by all our concerns, then maybe they won't get to do that. Okay. So again, Doc, in your clinical practice, how important is the topic of sex and sexual compatibility a factor in terms of the problems that you see in society, and how is this different, or how is this being used to mask some deeper intimacy or emotional issues?
Okay. Ida, I'll frame the question a little differently. Instead of using clinical practice lens, I'm going to use a population health sense. And in particular, because the School of Government of Ateneo, with our policy center, focusing on health security, I will bring 3 important topics for our parents, listener, to pay attention to.
Okay.
First, teenage pregnancy. I will cite a few statistics later on. And why is teenage pregnancy rather important for the discussion this morning? Because they are unable to complete their education. And if you apply the principles of social determinants of health, not all health problems of the world can be solved by medicine. We have to look at social determinants of health. And what are they? Remember the 3 E's: education, employment, and economic freedom to make the right choices. You take that away because they did not complete their education, because they got pregnant during a tender teenage age, you're in trouble. So we will talk about that. And the numbers are rising. Number 2, infection.
Doc, ano yun? Education,
Employment. And the economic freedom to make the right choices.
Okay.
Healthy lifestyle behavior. The second part of the conversation later is the alarming rates of sexually transmitted diseases, including HIV.
In the Philippines?
In the world,
in the world.
HIV cases are going down,
Okay.
but the Philippine numbers are going up.
Oh, wow.
And that's something that we need to examine why.
Oh, yeah.
And what should people do to prevent this from happening. And I will focus on values. No? Okay. The last item of consideration is cervical cancer. People do not know that over 95% of cervical cancer, it's a women cancer, no? Gynecologic women disease, is actually coming from HPV, human papillovirus infection. And because they don't know that it's from an infection, they take that for granted. Now, when people get sick, they will also take antibiotics, sometimes self-medicate. And one of the things that the global World Health Organization nag-warning sila, antimicrobial resistance will happen if you are taking antibiotics indiscriminately. One day, we will not have any more potent antibiotics to deal with the infection that we face. So these are the messages I want to bring in.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. Ako pa naman, sorry mga doktor, mga katabi ko, pero ako talaga, iwas ako antibiotics kasi according to the gut expert, it's like a nuclear bomb on your gut, and that's where all other diseases. Yes. But if necessary, of course, kung iba na ang bacteria nyo dyan, kailangan na ng antibiotics. Alright? But so, Doc Allan, in your practice naman, what data do you have, do you see about, all this? Doc Ken has mentioned teenage pregnancy, the STDs, and then the cervical cancers. Other problems that you also see, or the same ba, o ano?
Yeah, well, in connection to what Doc Ken was talking about, no, for a number of years, I was supervising the UP medical students over there at the Intramuros Health Center, and on Wednesdays we have our prenatal day, and it's always a sad day for me, because I see so many young mothers, teens, no? They're already into their third pregnancies.
Wow.
With a third partner.
Wow.
No? Yung ganung klase yung mga problema nakikita namin doon. Of course, there are those who are getting pregnant at the right time, but there's an unusual number of teen pregnancies, and like what Kenneth was saying, you can already predict what's going to happen. That they're not going to be able to finish their studies, that there's going to be they'll be perennially there at the periphery of the economy because they cannot earn, no? And then pagka iniwan pa sila ng mga partner nila, which often happens, no, at this age, then all the more they're going to be in dire straits, no? So it's a real thing, no? It's not just a statistic.
Okay. Thank you. Maribel, about you. So we have the health problem, the teenage pregnancy, and the economic problems that come with it. With you in terms of family, what problem does this poses if they're not prepared?
Well, what Ken mentioned, those three things are really very much. It really happens, especially when they stop studying and they don't have the education also. So it's really be a big problem. And teenage pregnancy, what year was that? We were number 2 in the world, and now we're number 1. The Society of Adolescent Medicine, they have the studies here. And really, it's very alarming, no? And sometimes it's not just teens, even young adults, well, the 20s and the 21s still are in a difficult stage, no? And they all want to have a happy family life when we talk to them, but they don't know how to get there, and many are still uninformed really about how babies are made.
Especially if you're 13 years old. How do you have a happy family life if you're not prepared emotionally? You're not even an adult yet, going through your own phase yet, no?
Right.
So what these are the problems, and you can share your data, Doc, if you're ready. What brought this out? Bakit kaya? Especially, nagulat ako doon na ang world statistics, especially for STDs and cervical cancer, is going down, pero sa Philippines, going up. Any theories or suspicion on bakit ganun ang data sa ating bansa?
I don't know. I don't have a theory on why this is going up. I could probably speculate that parents have a very strong obligation to educate both their female and male children. Sometimes in this kind of discussion, always it's the woman's responsibility to prevent this from happening. But equally, I think we should not objectify women. I think we should also pay more attention to the men, the young boys who may be hormonal surge or anything. But they need also to know that they have obligation. They need to know not to enter a dangerous field, that they have no pananagutan, no obligation. no, they live a carefree life. The society should not allow that to happen, and we go back. What is the part in education? No, that's parents, no. Second, what obligation does education and schools in particular have to bring this to the attention? Kasi there has to be some reinforcement to get them knowledgeable na these are values that we hold dear. We should not make society pay for our mistakes. I think we have an obligation to help the next future generation, and I think education speaks volumes here.
Okay. So, tayo, mahilig pa naman tayo in educative work. And that's why we do what we do, especially with Discovery Weekend, with Love is the Truth. Preventive sana talaga lahat, no? How about the Dionisos? What are your other theories? Bakit nagkakaganito? Ba't lumalala ang problem?
I think, no, the culture of the Philippines here is that parents don't talk about it. Diba? They'll joke about it.
Yeah.
They'll have some innuendo here and there.
Yes.
Diba?
Tukso-tuksuhan.
Yes, but then yung actually telling your son or your daughter, hey, this is what happens, no, and this is why you should be careful. Parang Filipino parents are generally embarrassed to talk about it, and so there's the contradiction now, okay, because there were efforts, for example, to have some kind of sexuality education in schools, diba? And then after the objection there is, no, it should not be. It should be the right of the parent, okay, to educate the children. But the parents don't.
So maybe it's the parents we should educate.
Yeah, that's correct.
Di ba, Maribel?
Both. We have to educate the parents because we've done that already in Love Institute, educating the parents. And then they'll tell us, can you talk to our children? Also. Parang, there's still the cultural thing of embarrassment to talk about it. But the amazing thing, when we talk to high school students, which we've done for many years now,
In many
is
schools,
to really provide them information, and they're amazed. Parang, I don't need to have a boyfriend or girlfriend para kaagad. I should plan first my life. So we teach them about the importance of the education, and you have money so that there's that economic freedom. And we write it down when they see their life plan, the next 10 years of their life, they're 15 up to 25. Wow. Okay pala yun. We'll delay first the boyfriend, girlfriend, and also the sex. We say sex in marriage. And we say because, that can complicate matters, stop you from studying in case you get pregnant. So, it really helps to continually educating our young people. If the parents don't want to, then it has to go to the young people.
Yes. And Doc has something to add. Go ahead.
May I respond?
Sure. Yes,
I've heard stories now na kung ayaw ng parents, what they do is to ask their tito and tita
To teach.
to orient their kids. Pero they did not absolve their obligation.
Right,
They just
right.
have shift
Passed
to
it
another
on.
person to do
Delegated
that.
it.
Delegated it. Kasi parang mas objective
Yeah.
kasi tito-tita.
Right.
Pero let me share two things, no? Nung we have a kasambahay before, and she's very young. She's 17. But hindi na high school. So we said, okay yun. We will send you to high school in a nearby school, night school. Very, very good school, no? Then she got pregnant with one of her classmates on the second year. Hindi na tinapos yung high school. So that's why this thing is very real to us in our family. So we said maybe you want to help them, but they got pregnant in school with a classmate. Oo, hindi natapos. But let me share another interesting psychology. In the School of Government, we are shepherding over 160 plus doctors of the barrio. These are doctors of the barrio doing their service in the GIDA area, some far-flung area, reporting to the Department of Health. But one of the exciting program we handled was innovations. And they said, the young people do not come to the health center for services, education, and things like that. Kasi nahihiya. So what they did was they created an apps, prototype apps. They created an apps that the young people can, because they have cell phones, the young people can first do their curated research And then when they feel confident, when they come to the center, they know what questions to ask. Pero one of the reasons why they don't go to the health centers, nahihiya. Nahihiya sila, nakikita. Especially kung nakalagay doon, today is prenatal day, STD day, or ano. Kasi, bakit ka pupunta ron, no, di ba? Nahihiya sila. So maybe from the side of social marketing of the government clinic, not to label it, this is general, it's a general clinic, or don't say it vaccination day. So everybody who knows goes there is just for one purpose. O nalilabel eh.
Oo.
Di ba?
Kasi basta usapang sex, usapang pagtatalik, parang it's a taboo language. When actually, sex is beautiful. Without it, we cannot procreate, right? We know we will be extinct. I always say that, along with all the other purposes. But
I wonder if social media and films and commercial actually contribute to the damage.
May data ba tayo dyan or something?
I don't have data,
Yeah.
but if you look at the patterns of what tintillates the men and society, it probably yung silent influence of these films might actually create expectations,
Yes.
di ba?
And values, no? So, ayan na tayo doon sa topic nga natin. On the beauty of sex, which is supposed to be unity and intimacy between couples, versus the more pop culture view on sex. Bakit nagkakagap? Other than probably the movies and Hollywood, at saka ano kaya ang view, differences? Ano ang ideal view on sex and intimacy, and what is the wrong one?
I just want to share, no? So we prepare couples for marriage, and of course, one of the topics we ask them is about what are your values about premarital sex, no? And I'm surprised a number of these couples would say, no, we decided not to have sex. So I ask, how come? So inisip ko, baka they don't like to get pregnant or STD. No. The answer of majority is, because my parents told me not to get pregnant before marriage and not to have sex.
Okay.
Wow.
Is that a good thing or a bad
It
thing?
is a good thing,
Okay.
which really shows that parents have to speak. Because parents kasi say, baka hindi sila sumunod sa amin. Hindi. Sumunod sa iyo o hindi. But especially if you have a good relationship with your children, they will listen to you. They will value that. So parents have to know that they have that power.
Yes.
And they're not aware of that.
And I feel that's very, what the parents say is very important, but what you said, the relationship is also important. Because if you have a bad relationship and you say
magbubuntisan naman
something,
yan.
they'll do the opposite.
Of course.
Just to
Yes.
just to rebel and
Yes.
get back to you and hurt
Yeah.
you.
Right.
Passive aggression, no?
Right.
So respect
Yeah.
and maybe a why.
Yes.
The whole, why would I do this? Why would I not touch hot? Why would I not go home late? Why would I not drink, have alcohol or drugs? And why will I not
Yeah.
engage in
And
premarital
that's why we have to
sex?
educate the parents again on these areas so that
Yes.
it does not become a source of conflict or
Yes.
rebellion or
Yes.
issue with
And
the
so
child.
that the children don't get educated by media.
By internet.
Yeah.
Yes, by
Yes.
by internet, di ba?
Yes. But
I wonder how about peer pressure. Does it
Oh, there's some. Tita, I don't like naman to have sex. And my friends are asking me, no, you can. I said, you want to tell a lie? You tell them, yeah. You know? Oh, that's good, Tita. Maybe I'll use that. So that's what they use. Because, para umalis lang, get people off your back. And it's sad, di ba? Parang you have to pretend and play, but it works for those young adults. And these are who are in their late 20s or 30s. They are pressured. The pressure is real, huh? So the building of the confidence and that value, and those who ask me, the parents really instilled in them, and they believe in it.
May I ask?
Yes.
May I ask?
Yeah.
Kasi yung si Dr. Allan mentioned about repeat pregnancy,
Yeah.
and I have data.
Oh.
35 girls under 15-year-old has already repeat pregnancy. This was in the statistic of 2023.
Grabe.
Yeah.
But look 17 women under 20 years old have already given birth 5 or more times.
Oh my gosh.
Under 7,
20,
under
under
20,
20.
5 or more
Yeah.
times na.
Yeah.
Ibig sabihin, even healthy bird speaking, hindi na. But I wondered, and I don't know if you have data on this, whether this situation was born because single parent. Say for instance,
Their
one of the
parents were single parents.
Kasi the other parent is working overseas, maraming OFW.
Yeah.
May factor ba dito 'yon?
May factor din, but if the single parent will speak and let them know about the values and then has a good relationship, it's not always naman because wala yung isang parent. Ano yung sinabi ng magulang nakakatulong talaga.
Or ng parent substitutes also. No?
The other caregivers in their life.
And to help them talk to them about their goals and aspirations. Pag merong hangarin yung bata kasi parang, I want to be a secretary, accountant, whatever type of work. How will we get there? What do you need? So how will relationship play in this? So we have the study column and the relationship column. Sige, mag-study muna tayo si relationship later on na. But you can make friends, you can have a boyfriend, but making sure to finish this. So it helps that parang, I have a goal. And many, when we meet them, walang goals. Parang hindi very clear sa kanila ang goals. So relationships all around and these things happen. Our radio program, di ba? Not only teenage pregnancy, the young adults, how they get pregnant so fast. I mean, within a few months of getting to know
that's the
new
opposite
partner.
of the spectrum. Kanina, you were mentioning that in marriage preparation, meron na rin nagsasabi we're postponing premarital sex till after marriage. Meron din naman on the other side of the spectrum, engaging in what they call the hookup culture or the one-night stands. And it's cool. As you said, the peer pressure, you talk about it, minsan po-post pa nila sa IG and social media, tired from last night or mga ganyan. And it sounds cool ka. Saan galing kaya yun? I mean, and bakit nagpo-propagate yung ganong klaseng mindset? Any guesses?
I was told that the proliferation of dating apps might be a simple, easy way to create a hookup or one-night stand.
So maybe one is the technology adapting and their applications already to easily find someone na type mo, swipe left, swipe right.
And there's so many movies, di ba? One date, second date ng date na kakilala, they're hooking up and they're...
Okay.
So, if people are not informed about the effects or what this one's all about, they will imitate. No? If the parent or parental figures are not talking.
Especially the Western attitude towards also sex na pupunta na through the Hollywood. Doc, in your practice of family counseling, any information coming out on why do you think uuso ang hookup culture?
Well, actually, from biology.
Yes. Okay.
That's
What does that
family
mean?
counseling, when you look at the sexual drive, it's a very primitive drive. I mean, even before humans were invented, for the sex was already something that's very, very powerful. I like to say that all species that have lost interest in sex are extinct now. And all the more, so it's really built in.
Like the pandas. I always use an example, the pandas are so lazy, they don't want to have sex, and therefore, they're almost extinct. The scientists have to put their, on the dish, right?
And so, and a lot of times, people, especially the adolescents, although the young adults are not immune to this either, di ba? They underestimate the power of that sexual drive, no? The sexual drive is life-giving, no? Okay, it's really important. On the other hand, because it has so much horsepower, if you don't know how to manage it, it'll really get away from you. And adolescents in particular are prone to let it get away from them because they're not aware of how strong it is. They just experience it. And by the time they know that they've crossed the line, they've crossed the line.
And is it addicting? Kasi nga, hookup culture and madalas pa, both toxicologists pa naman to, is there part of the brain that that tells you, get some more, that's fun.
Yeah. Because and that's why pornography can be so addictive, because if you keep on watching pornography, and then you're actually basically recabling your brain, so that you will get stimulated only by certain things, And the tendency in pornography is, you just advance from one form to the next one, which is more deviant from before.
Yeah.
And so eventually, we actually there's actually a couple we know who, because the guy was into porn for such a long time. When he married his girlfriend, who was really, really nice, but not. She was the girl next door now.
She's
very
not
nice.
a porn star.
Oh, he was bored with her.
Oh,
And that's where the sexual incompatibility came in, quote unquote.
Yes.
Because she wasn't behaving the way that he imagined a woman should behave, which was educated by all of his pornography.
all the movies.
Yes, but of
Na-program
course,
na siya. This sex should look like this. Puro
Yes.
directed and artista yung mga na pinapanood niya.
Maling programming.
Yeah. And so, before I go to Doc Ken, effect? So one, we have a client who's now in the counseling session because they have problems getting bored with their marital sex kasi compared with Hollywood sex, right? Which is different. Anything else? What else? Effects of that?
Well, whatever they watch, whether it's porn or other movies, there's that pre-programming that's happening.
Yung
That's why
standards,
we want the correct pre-programming, no?
Yeah.
Why sex should be postponed, and then the power of sex, and what is your end goal? What kind of
Yes.
life you want to have, so that we have the 5 steps to get there, which these young people really need and
Yes.
appreciate when it is given to them.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. And Doc, you were
Miss-
mentioning about dopamine peaks.
I'm smart with what Dr. Allan said. Do you notice that when you look at social media, Facebook or other social platform, when you search on something, the next thing you know, you will be bombarded with similar marketing, products, services. And I wondered if you look at pornography in
you'll
the
be
social media,
bombarded with that.
the algorithm of the
Yes.
digital technology is to force this in
Right.
your face. And if
Right.
you're not aware, walang critical thinking, you think this is the world, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And especially if you
Grabe.
don't have the value.
Oo.
Diba? Baka, and this could be teenagers who kind of just curious.
Everybody has a phone,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes. Okay. Wow. And just like that, it's already 10:06. So magta-time check muna tayo. Ang dami natin pinag-uusapan. And very, very important, I hope everyone is maximizing this time when we're really diving deep into this conversation. Pero babati muna po ako. Hello, good morning to Rose Tabi, to Randall, to Dory, Jotojot, Barcoma Ella Emiliano, and Lorna Buensuceso, Lucrecia, hello, and so many others watching right now. So, questions lang, keep coming. Meron isang question. At what age? Question po. At what age should parents start educating their kids on the difference between sex and intimacy? How should they start the conversation? Thank you, Rose Tabby, for the question. Who wants to take that?
Before we'd say about age 10 or 11. But there are parents who call 5 years old, nagtatanong. Sabi ko, we have to know.
Ang question ng 5-year-old, Mommies, where do babies come from?
Exactly.
Okay.
Di ba? Or,
sasagutin na ba yan ng the sperm and the egg and at 5?
Sometimes, especially if they read, I know a parent who said, mom has the sperm, dad has the sperm, and mom has the egg. And when they meet, then it makes a baby. Period. 5 years old.
Yeah.
Mga a year, 2 years later on, baka or even 5 years later on.
May
So how
follow-up
did they meet?
question.
Then you explain. But at least, you have to know your child kasi. What can your child pick up and to be able to understand it? But you don't have to give the whole story kaagad. You can give it by installment. And maybe that's a script that these parents really need, Tagalog and English. Ano ba yung sasabihin mo kung 5 taon yun? O kaya kung 8 years old or 10 years old. So we've been attempting to do that in terms of what to say. They really need a guideline there.
Yes. Okay. How about the doctors? What do you think is the age and what are the messages we should say? Where do we start?
well, even as children, no? I mean, little boys and little girls will notice the difference. Diba? And so that's an opportunity actually to talk to them about the difference between male and female. And then later on, because of their curiosity, they're going to ask questions. And you just answer them factually about what happens, no? And the more factual you are, and the more you're able to say it in a way that's not embarrassed, no, or that puts meaning into all of the questions. Minsan yung mga parents, bakit mo tinatanong yan? No, hindi mo dapat tanungin yan. Bata ka pa. Diba?
Oh, naku po. Oh my God. Ano ba yan? Mga ganyan pa. So parang talagang...
Ask your mother na lang.
Or na po ask your tito. Ask your ganyan.
So there are many opportunities to educate the children. It's just you have to overcome your own embarrassment about it, no? And then, but it's important that for things, for example, like if a stranger tries to touch you, diba?
Yes.
You have to say no, no? You have to tell somebody on authority about it, no?
Yes.
Those are very, very important rules to follow, no?
I saw a reel na merong preschool, meron silang ganyan chant. So along with clean up, meron din nobody touch me here, I protect myself, I say no. Yung mga really nursery rhymes that will tell them to protect their body and to say no to anyone parang going in their boundary.
The other biological phenomenon, okay, where it is timely to start talking about these things or to continue talking about it in a more extensive way is when the girl has her menarche, her first menstruation, and when the boy has his first nocturnal emission.
Yes.
Okay, then that's another opportunity to talk about it because it's going to happen. They're going to say, what's happening to me? No? And you want them to go to you as a reliable source of information.
Yes. And again, not to make it embarrassing and to make it very safe for your children to go to you. Meron din naman. So one is, oh my God, ano ba naman yung topic na yan? Bakit ka nagtatanong bata ba? And the other spectrum ay, yes! Yung anak ko nagtatanong na. Paano naman yun?
Yeah, we should not embarrass them about this topic. Otherwise, they will not ask us anymore.
Or make it also, dyan yung nag-objectify. Kasi meron ibang attitude. Yay, lalaki yung anak ko. Marunong nang magganyan. Hindi rin tamang values yun, di ba? Yes. Okay.
I agree with what Dr. Allan said. But I want to make a finer point about something at a very young age.
Yes.
I don't know. There are some parents who tell their kids very young, beso that person, kiss. Pero hindi naman niya kilala. And then that sort of, in a way, over time, nanonormalize yan. And the kid will think it's normal to kiss a stranger.
Right.
Diba?
Yeah.
Hindi naman kilala, but my mother...
Walang distinction ng anong klaseng
yung
stranger,
context is important. So, I still think the mano po is probably better than the Western concept of kiss this person.
Yes.
This is your uncle. And
mas maganda yung mano, yes. Pero ako talaga, if the kid doesn't want, respect the no. Because once the parents respect the no of the kids, then the kids will realize and learn, my no is valuable. My no is worth listening to. And I can use it even for others. Yun nga lang, pag 2-year-old, iba naman yung mga 2, 3-year-old, mga terrible twos when they're starting to learn how to talk. And the parents always say, don't touch that. No. Can I feed the dog? No. And then the beginner talker will learn, oh, no is powerful. Oh, let's take a bath. No! So, ginaya na. Iba naman yun. Iba yung no to protect yourself and boundaries. Iba yung teaching your kids other language, not just no. Right. Okay. Wow. Right. So now, parent education is one of the things we're looking at. Is there anything else that we want to share to our audience, Doc Ken, in terms of the statistics you gathered? Where is your source, and what's available out there for the information? Parents, we're sharing you data so that it's part of your why. When you talk to your children on why to avoid premarital sex, or why monogamy is important, these are the why. These are some of the data that's out there na hindi namin inimbento at hindi lang sinabi ni Lola kasi bawal kasi sabi ng simbahan lang, ganyan, hindi po natatapos doon, Doc.
Okay. I guess the data we're sharing is really of benefit to the parents. You can use this as an entry point for your discussion, but it has to be a little scientific and objective. For instance, a third of Filipino youth aged 15 to 24 are not aware of sexually transmitted disease. They're
One
not,
third, that's a lot.
That's a lot, right?
Ano na ba tayo? 100 million? That's about 33
well,
million.
if you look at the age group of 15 to
And youth.
24, there's still the large population, yung sector, no? And this came from young adult fertility sexuality study in the year 2022, no?
Yes.
The other medical society, like Derma Society, they look at skin diseases, but they recorded a lot of syphilis cases, human papillovirus cases going up, and herpes cases from the year 2011 to 2018 alone. So they were alarmed that therefore they reported this, no? And I guess it's important to take this into consideration. The other thing about teenage pregnancy I failed to mention earlier, we focus on the woman, but what about the offsprings, the child, if they are able to bring in 3 to 5 young, that they cannot even take care of themselves, you would expect that, and not go to school, you would expect that the young kids will be malnourished. Malnourishment is one of the major prevalent public health problems up to now in our country. The lack of nourishment will affect your IQ and ability to learn. So no amount of education, put in helping them, giving them classes is going to help if from the beginning talo na sila. They don't have the necessary requisite to learn. And that's scary because it will also in the future affect the competitiveness of Philippine labor market. They cannot learn, they won't have a degree, they will not learn anything technical, they cannot find a good job. As Dr. Allan said, they will be on the periphery, and it perpetuates poverty, di ba? So those are the things I'd like parents to take note of so that they could explain this to their young children. Yeah.
Right. Okay. But, I think to add, Maribel?
No, that's I think very important information about the malnourished kids and letting parents know about it. And young people know about it. They think it's okay, pwede nang bawiin yan later on. But what you're saying, the effect it has on on schooling, on learning capacity later on, and of course that goes on with the livelihood as well.
So one of the things we can combat this is by parent education. And since we are with the Love Institute and we are with the Discovery Weekend, how does marriage preparation will help combat or address these problems?
I guess the contribution here would be in providing a vision of marriage and relationship where your sexual drive, is placed in its proper perspective. Of course, there's the angle of the sexual drive for procreation. I mean, everybody knows that, no? But there's also the angle of, you were talking in the beginning about the whole intimacy thing, that the sexual drive, in its best form, is something that must be combined with that emotional intimacy between husband and wife, and it's nice, this word intimacy. Its root word is intimare, which means innermost, the deepest. And here we're talking about the knowledge of this person with whom I am having sex, that I know this person and this person knows me in a very deep way. And therefore, when we have sex, and there's that whole angle of sex as language, not just sex as an act for procreation or having pleasure.
As Gary Chapman says, as one touch is one of the languages.
Yes. So it's actually possible, in its best form, the sex in the context of a deeply intimate relationship is a way of communicating to that person the love and the trust that you have for one another. And that would actually be the vision for marriage and for sex in a relationship that can be communicated to couples who are thinking of getting married, to couples who are already married but have a different view, and especially to our children and our adolescents in particular. If they have that vision, plus the vision of what they would like to be in the future, then hopefully they will be sufficiently armed. Okay,
Yes.
when temptation comes,
Yeah.
either from outside or even from within.
Yes.
Diba?
Okay, what I heard there is sex plays a very big important role in couple relationship. In fact, intimacy is coming from you seeing each other deep within. So including kaya nga, you love me, warts and all, right? No, as a frog. That includes bilbil and all, imperfection is and all. And again, pag kinumpara mo yung partner mo sa porn star, syempre, look, what? Medyo mahirap tapatan yun, right? So, iba yun. And, I like nga, the intimacy word, it's also pronounced as into-me-see. Right? It's really knowing each other. And merong di ba, may cementing.
Yes.
I
So,
like talking about that. Doc, go ahead.
Yeah, and sex actually, the way that the brain is engineered, okay? So there's supposed to be 3 circuits, okay? One is that circuit for sex, and all the pleasure that comes with it. There are neurotransmitters like dopamine, the classic happy hormone, so you feel good about it. But at the same time, there's this second circuit. It's the circuit for romantic love, okay? And when you stimulate that circuit for romantic love, it's also run by these happy hormones, no? It stimulates the desire for sex. No? So, when you fall in love with someone,
That's
there
the
is
emotional
unconsciously
part.
a desire also to have sex with that
The
person.
physical part.
And that's natural because that's how that's nature working, no? To be sure that the
Yes.
that the species moves on. But there's
Continue.
this third circuit, okay, and it's a circuit for attachment.
Attachment.
And this time the neurotransmitter is oxytocin.
Oxytocin.
That is also stimulated when you fall in love, when the romantic circuit is turned on, and when the sex circuit is turned on. No, they're like these 3, they complement one another. They turn each other on, so that when you have sex with someone, you want to stay with that someone. No?
Yes.
Even if you were strangers. No?
Yes.
There's a tendency to say, I want to continue this relationship with, because there is that attachment already.
Naku, paano kung one night stand lang and you want to
Oo.
stay with that person?
In fact, there was this interesting study that showed that for people, mga one-night stand, no?
The hookups.
Consenting adults, mga
Yes.
hookups, the majority of the people who hooked up actually wanted to continue
Yes.
afterwards. No? It wasn't just a one-night thing, no, that they entered into.
Yeah.
And so when you think about it, the whole thing was designed to be a self-perpetuating thing, so that in a good marriage,
Yes.
using this particular biologic mechanism or engineering, you can actually continue. It helps to have the long-term committed relationship that marriage is supposed to be, using this
Galing.
particular mechanism.
See? Beyond religion, beyond spirituality, there's science into the whole beauty purpose of sex. And therefore, there's science also on the dangers of misusing this wonderful tool. And as you learn this as a couple, for those thinking of marriage, you're also educating yourself on future conversations with your children. When they start asking, when they turn puberty, when they become adolescents, right? And when they have their own crushes and relationships already. From the policy making standpoint naman, especially from Ateneo School of Government, what are some things that we can start doing or initiate as our answer to this problem? So there's marriage preparation, there's education, anything else from policy?
Okay. We understand when we scan the environment, the legislators have been putting a number of bills, like adolescent prevention bill, but it has not taken any root and nothing has been signed into law. But many policies doesn't actually solve the problem. It takes better governance in integrating different government agencies working together. For instance, as we talk about teenage pregnancy and infection, the health department,
Yeah.
the social welfare
DOH,
department, people in the labor sector department, and then also higher education.
Why labor sector?
Because these our people will eventually go into the labor workforce. That's a great platform if the workplace can also be an avenue or a platform for education inside.
Parang I heard from a derma friend, parang tumataas din ang statistics ng STDs and HIVs in like mga BPOs, call centers. So, kailangan talagang pasukan ng labor sector. Okay.
Oo. And again, while the government can only do it from a perspective of legal compliance, regulation, and requiring certain things, the quality of the education is important. What are the values and messages that are being conveyed that stick? Hindi lang yung, kasi we have to comply with the laws. They said that we should do this, di ba? That's not going to work. And we like to plan, but we're not very good in execution. Di ba?
Yeah.
Because of sometimes the stigma involved in discussing. Kasi you're not supposed to talk about HIV.
Yeah.
Diba? You can talk about it, getting HIV, but you cannot talk about, kasi data privacy yun diba? Now, many people don't know that if you have HIV, you have to be tested, you have to inform your partners, and be counseled. But antiretroviral medicines are provided by the government already.
Okay.
They have to be, they can access this medication.
Ako naman, you probably don't need to talk about the who to keep the people confidential, no? Especially for patients. But I think you need to, like this conversation, it has to be talked about.
Yes.
Kasi ang napag-uusapan lang, ay, ang sarap-sarap mag-hook up, or ang saya-saya, or the peer pressure, but you don't talk about the consequences. And I feel that's something that we need to do more. How about Maribel? Ayan, kausap natin mga in the policy making, and you know us, we're very passionate. Let's legislate, let's do something. Any proposal on
I guess,
what can be done?
Well, legislation might help, but I guess it is also, the schools will be a good place kasi to enter because the students are there. There are a lot of people there, which we've done. You know, I remember this time we gave a talk in a public high school. The school did not have a conference room. They had a lobby, not aircon. 200 kids seated there, and they were listening. They were behaved because this is a topic that they really wanted to. Yeah, and we did an evaluation. They said, why is this not talked about? Or I should not pala, I can delay having pala a boyfriend and girlfriend. I should focus first on what I want in life, my dreams and aspirations. No? And I wish we could replicate that in different schools. So we had teams that went around different Quezon City and Novaliches schools. We had a group that sponsored it. Because we have people who can talk about it. But it is the schools that need to request. Or media will help in terms of get people to really educate the students and get the parents also in a separate venue.
What's your proposal for out-of-school youth? That they are not in school?
The same information. We just get them together in some place. So, kinakausap na sila in Tagalog. Then, of course, we will have to adapt it into their, because they're out of school, no? And or where are they staying? And you know, how to protect themselves so that they are secure also. Or
And that's where I guess the DSWD can come in.
Right.
Kasi sila yung may mga daycare centers or may mga programs also for the youth, di ba?
Right.
At saka yung mga ICL, mga youth in conflict with the law, na pwedeng part of their formation, kasi kasama, CEFAM has a program called REPRO, Resiliency Program, where they help mga different institutions, program reform, parang children, youth that have conflict with the law. Kasama dapat ang educative yan. Kasi the hormones is a driving force, whether they behave or misbehave as well. Hi! And super fast and bitin na bitin this conversation, but we will have a part 2. We are so blessed that our doctors here will give us another chance, another time to talk about this more in detail. Maybe next week, we're thinking about going into detail about the dating apps and the dating culture and the dating practices. So, watch out for that. But before we go, maybe one last word na pabaon for 1 week until we see each other again next week, to our parents, to our youth, and to our couples who are considering marriage or considering a hookup or not, that you would want us to tell them.
Sige. Parents with teenagers, you have power to let your children know what is the good and what's not the good. Will they follow you? We don't know. But if you mention it to them, there might be a great chance that they will follow you. So speak up and let them know what's the right thing to do to have a happy life.
And maybe in addition to what Maribel said, I think it's important for parents to retrospect also, to find out from, what are the values that you are actually espousing to your children. Because you can tell your children all manner of stuff, but if they see that you're not walking the talk,
Yes.
then they're probably not going to follow you. They'll follow what you do rather than what you say. So there's that other layer now before speaking to your children. Just introspect a little bit and find out, do your values actually correspond to the values that you say your children should have?
Yeah.
What I brought in here are risks and consequences of wrong action. But to solve this problem outside of the family and education is really a whole of society approach.
Yes.
And my request is government departments,
Yes.
do your job
Yes.
and coordinate and make our society better.
Yes. All right. And that's our passion here in SPARC, is really to educate. So we call on, and we're happy that the Ateneo School of Government is here, because we really need to get this mas massive. We've been, like the Discovery Weekend, the Love Institute, we're doing it on per school, per association, per organizations, but we need the whole country to come together to protect our youth and therefore protect our future. So just some announcements. School for Parents, that's part of our initiative, will be happening in July. Please stand by for that. And the next Discovery Weekend run is already this weekend, May 1 to 3. Holiday, wala kayong excuse, attend. It's face-to-face, no? Go to discoveryweekend.org for more information. And with that, I leave you with our Bible verse, Genesis 2:24. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. That sex part is beautifully designed to make the couples become more and more one flesh. To be one is God's plan for the couple, right? But it's a tool. If it's misused, there are consequences to the health, to society, to the psychology. So let's come together and educate our children. And we hope we've done that for the past hour. Pahabol shout out to Jocelyn Lazo, Kutz Claudio, and everyone who's regular with us. Spread the word. There's a source for more substantial conversation and information in forming our children. So we'll see you again next week, May 4, hopefully, a part 2 of this conversation. In the meantime, we pray we spark a little joy and wisdom in your lives, and may God bless you the rest of the week and always. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
What keeps a family shining? It's that spark, the bond between spouses, the wisdom of parents, and the dreams of children. And guess what? We're turning that spark into a show. Introducing SPARC, Spouses, Parents, and Children. Only here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. A program filled with real talk, life hacks, inspiring stories, and yes, even the fun and laughter that keep families strong. So tune in, light up your day, and let's celebrate what makes every family shine. SPARC, Spouses, Parents, and Children. Only on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Your campus, your community, your spark